Given our network's fairly substantial coverage of the crisis in the Congo, how would the CNDP like to comment on the anti-Hutu radio broadcast it's been making and the conflagration that it's had in the conflict itself?
Again, I think this has been really blown out of proportion. It is not an anti-Hutu broadcast, it is anti-FDLR. FDLR is an ethnic Hutu organization. They do commit atrocities upon the Tutsi people, and we, the CNDP, as a Tutsi organization, do feel it our right, our duty to protect the Tutsi nation, along with Congolese people and Congolese dignity. That being said, the broadcast is, most powers in the committee in the room right now are stepping up or beginning large military campaigns. We felt it our right as a sovereign body to do the same and add to or bolster our ranks.
Follow-up question? So you will indeed confirm that the CNDP has been stockpiling weapons in looking forward to potential conflict in the near future?
Stockpiling weapons? Those accusations are baseless. I don't really know where they're coming from, but if you'd like to continue, I will add that it's very unfortunate our friend from Khartoum could not make it. It would be equally regrettable if you could not express confidence.
Yes?
Lieutenant Observer would like to ask how the CNDP feels about foreign intervention, since we just went over it.
Foreign intervention, it kind of is attached to a bigger issue, that is the questionable ability to govern by the DRC. Right now, the CNDP would welcome foreign intervention, seeing as how the DRC and MONUC seem incapable of either allowing, well, they seem incapable of remediating this crisis. They're not allowing the CNDP to act as its role in helping the Congolese people. They've set up many roadblocks, sidelining a lot of bodies that should not be sidelined. In fact, they question my own legitimacy, and so in turn I'd like to question theirs. They're afraid to let me. The FDLR took a Tutsi village. I'm a Tutsi organization. I should be able to go in and save the Tutsis from the Hutu hands. But yet the FARDC, the Congolese army, would not allow it and threaten me. Rather, the FARDC kills civilians all the time, more maybe perhaps than the rebel groups, but more especially MONUC allows it. They just kind of turn a blind eye to it. In the Operation Kimia 2, the Congolese army killed 505 civilians. Just recently in Umoyo Wete, they killed 198 civilians just for no apparent reason. If they cannot separate civilians from hostiles, I don't see how they're any more legitimate a body than I am.
And final question for me. Can you comment on the fact that the FDLR is, of course, not recognized as a negotiating body, and therefore, how can any kind of peace talks go forward if they're not allowed to negotiate at all?
Simply because there is no room for the FDLR in any peace. They dug the grave a long time ago. Certainly my organization would not tolerate a peace with the FDLR, but neither would Rwanda, which is actually quite a large power in the area. There's absolutely no scenario in which Rwanda would ever sign a peace agreement with the FDLR. They're an obstacle to peace. They're an obstacle to mediation of crisis.
Final question from Vanguard.
So if the international community were to consider and apply a direct intervention into the Congolese crisis, given the fact that they probably would not target the FDLN, would the CNDP go against the wishes of the international community and continue fighting against another disarmed party?
They're not disarmed. The FDLR is not disarmed.
Under the auspices of an intervention?
I would hope that, I have not been in negotiations, but I would hope that any intervention would at least take a look at the FDLR. They really are the root of this crisis. I feel that if any intervention happened with that target, I would continue to target them. They are criminals.
Thank you, CNDP.
If I may actually just end this with a few seconds, while we have been undergoing some new leadership. Our great leader and founder, Laurent Nkunda, has been imprisoned and arbitrarily detained, rather. So I would like to end this press conference with a brief prayer in poem. You've always tried, Comandante. Comandante, these mist-covered mountains of Masisi were home for you until now. But your home is the lowlands and always will be. Someday you will turn to your valleys and your farms. Thank you.